I'm not just Miss Barrera. I'm going to be Detective Barrera. And I want y'all to be detectives with me today. Can y'all do that?
Yes.
Great. So we're going to use clues that we get from our text. We're going to use what we already know, and we're going to infer today as detectives. We're going to find out the mystery as what's in our inferencing bags today. Okay? So, if you don't already know what inferencing is figuring out something that wasn't completely explained before. So that's whenever you have to use what you already know in the text or the clues to help you. You have to be a detective and find the clues within the text. You're going to read between the lines. So whenever you're inferring, this is kind of how you can infer. You can say, I infer, perhaps, or maybe. Those are different ways you can infer. Whenever we're making inferences, these are the different steps we're going to use to make our inferences. Sorry. We're going to use what the text says. We're going to use what we already know, and then we're going to infer. Therefore, I can infer, and we're going to have what we inferred. Okay? So I'm going to do a model bag with you today because we're going to play a game, an inferencing game. And I'm going to model how I want you to play your game. Okay? In each bag, it's going to have an object. So we're going to use our great detective skills to figure out what's in our bags by inferring. There's going to be a card with each bag, and it has clues on it. So as I model how to do this bag for you, I'm going to be thinking out loud. But I want you to just be thinking in your head, okay? So we're not going to say anything out loud, but I'm going to be thinking out loud. So as I read these clues, if you already know what it is, don't say it out loud, okay? So, clue number 1. This object has 6 sides. So I'm thinking, what kind of objects do I know have 6 sides? You're just thinking about it, okay? I'm thinking out loud, but you're just thinking in your head, okay? I'm thinking, what object has 6 sides? I'm not really sure, so I'm going to keep reading. This object has dots on it. It has 6 sides and it has dots on it. I'm still not really sure, so I'm going to keep reading, see if I can try to figure it out. This object rolls. Has 6 sides, has dots on it, and it rolls. Still not quite sure, so I'm going to keep reading. This object can be found in board games. So it has 6 sides, has dots on it, it can roll, and you can find it in board games. What type of object could it be? Well, the text says it has dots on it. So the text says the object has dots on it. I know that dice have dots on them, right? Okay, so I already know dice have dots. Therefore, I can infer the object in the bag is a die. Is that what y'all thought?
Yes.
You thought it was a square? Or a domino? I think it's a die. A die is a single dice.
Oh, like a dice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you meant like...
Well, do you want to see what is really in this bag?
Yes. Oh, you meant like...
Let's see. Isaac, what is it?
A die.
Take it out. A die. So, I want somebody to raise their hand and tell me if they knew that this is what was in the bag. And how did you know? And you already know that about dice, right? So whenever the text said that, you infer that it was a die? Very good.
I really like the dice because it can be found in board games and it has
you already know that dice can be found on board games and they have 6 sides, right? Awesome. And they have dots on them, correct?
And I know that too, like, do that.
They roll. Very good. So whenever y'all go into y'all's groups, do y'all think y'all can do this? Y'all can use y'all's detective skills and figure out the object in y'all's bags?
Yes.
Okay. But before we go into y'all's groups, there's a couple rules to our game. We can't touch the bag. You have to just leave it on your table. That's rule number 1. You can't touch or pick up the bag or move it or anything like that. Okay? Rule number 2. You can't mess with any of the other groups. You have to stay with your group and your group only. Okay? And rule number 3. What was rule number 3? Don't shout out the answer. Because we don't want the other groups to know, right? You have to keep it just in your group. You're just talking amongst your group.
Adult 5?
Of course. We're going to start our inferencing game here in a little bit. So I want you to put on your detective hats, get out your magnifying glass, and get ready to solve the mystery to what's in the bag. Are you ready?
Yes.
You can do it?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's go. Okay, so before we get started on our game, we're going to go over the rules really quick. Who can tell me what one of the rules was? Right here.
Don't touch the bag.
Don't touch the bag. Thank you. What was another one of our rules? Isaac. Don't disturb your neighbors. Don't bother any of the other groups. Okay, and what was our third rule? Lily. Don't shout out the answer. Okay, and our jobs that we're going to have for this game, so we're going to have a recorder, and you're going to write down the answers. We're going to have 2 clue readers. And we're going to have a rule keeper to make sure everybody's following the rules. And if you're the rule keeper, you need to make sure you're following the rules also. Okay, so you need to check yourself and your group, right, Joe? Okay, so everybody should know their jobs by now, right? All good? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pass out the paper that you're going to be filling out. It looks exactly like this. It says, the text says, I already know, and therefore I can infer the object in the bag is. You're just filling it in for each group. We're going to take about 5 minutes to do each bag, okay? All right, whenever I say go, your group can go ahead and flip over your clue card and start. And I'm going to start the time. Ready? Set. Go.
Don't touch the bag.
Remember, we're not touching the bags.
This object is or one. This object This object name has 4 names. This
This object comes in different sizes and colors.
There's 4 letters and it's colorful and the word color's colorful. And there's this thing called crackle glue. There's this thing called
Okay.
sticks things together.
Well, look at clue number 1. This object can be used to build things. Can it be built into Legos?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine it goes with clue number 1 about clue number 2. 4 letters in it.
L-E-G-O.
Okay, what about clue number 3?
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. Go ahead and write that down.
It's just Legos, I think.
And then the fourth question, this object has a minute, and you have
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were in the wrong place. Ducks. It's
And what do you already know? You think it's a myth? Does a myth match all these clues? Is a myth true? You should not be swallowed. You can swallow it once you come.
There we right there.
Okay, therefore I can infer this object in the bag is no.
We're done. Yes. It only goes down to the
And then the back.
We're finished.
Okay, a few more minutes.
Yeah. You can throw it.
Finish yet. If you are done, go ahead and flip your card over so you can see the clues for the next group. Clue cards are flipped over? Okay, go ahead and go to the next group. The next number. You're group 5, you're coming to group 1. You're group 5, you're coming to group 1.
Okay, then I'll take more of those.
Don't flip the card yet. Okay, go ahead and start.
This object you said you wanted to be the object can be found in your wallet. This object can be thrown into a wishing well. This object is not worth a lot.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah.
This object can be found.
Penny.
Okay,
Okay, so the text says this object can be thrown into a wishing well. That helped me think it was a penny. Because I know you can't throw a dollar inside a wishing well. Throw a penny, a dime, a nickel.
Coin. Okay. What makes you think? Because I know you can throw quarters, you can throw dimes, you can throw nickels. What makes you think it's a penny specifically? And you already know pennies are only worth 1 cent.
pennies are worth 1 cent.
No, this object, the text says this object is not worth a lot.
And you already done it?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and try to put this in 5 because y'all just did it, right? And then erase that. Or just draw a 1 line through it. And then put that in. Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Mm-hmm. You agree with that?
That's what we have. Oh, and this is it. wallet is R-O-M-M.